Just before I vault, I'm just like, go smash this, you've got this. Just trying to big myself up a little bit and actually believe that I can do it. I actually haven't been vaulting too long. I've done it for about 3 years. Before that, I had done heptathlon, I'd done a lot of running. I kind of saw like the good in it, and actually, if it went right, it could be such a fun event. Finally getting the opportunity and the chance to do it has just been amazing. My highlight probably definitely was my first ever English schools. I'd gone from nothing to 310 in just over a year and a half, maybe. I kind of proved to myself that actually I could do really well, and if I kept trying, then I could improve so much more. Not even knowing like, that I could actually do pole vault, and just having it almost as like a little fantasy to be getting over 335, being really close to 350. I think it's eye-opening, and the fact that I know that I've got so much more to come. It will pay off at some point. I think that's really important to take away, that it might not be brilliant all the time, but at some point your hard work will pay off. I think that's really important.
All right then, Mallory. So, I mean, you're still quite young. I mean, you're only 17, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
aren't you?
yeah,
That's right.
17,
Yeah.
right.
So, for someone of your age, why is athletics such a special thing for you? Where does that passion come from?
I think definitely in seeing yourself improve, seeing that the hard work that you put into your training is paying off in competitions. But I also think in the friends you make and the massive community that athletics is, I think it's so important going to competitions, making new friends, meeting new people, but also supporting each other, help to um improve and get better, and seeing how each other's progressing through the sport, I think is also really important. Um, but yeah, I think definitely seeing your performance and how that's improving, I think that that really does help as well. And I think seeing that massive improvement really helps build that passion, make you want to improve, because you can really see where it's going right, and also zoom in and what needs to get tweaked to improve.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Because you're competing by yourself, but like you say, there's a community, you meet
Yeah,
people, you make new friends. It's actually really nice in that way because it's
yeah,
not just the competing
definitely.
aspect, is it? You just meet new people along the way, and that's always a bonus.
Yeah.
So, has there been any like highlights from the past few years? Because I know you've been doing it from a really young age. So, are there any standout moments for you that you look back on and think, "Wow, like I actually did that"?
Yeah, definitely. So I actually haven't been vaulting too long. I've done it for about 3 years. Before that, I had done heptathlon. I'd done a lot of running from a young age as well, at a different club. But I think for pole vault, my highlight probably definitely was my first ever English schools. I just missed out on my first ever year trying pole vault. I just missed out on getting the standard for English schools. I got it at the end of the season instead of kind of midway through. So I think the second year when I finally got the standard in a different age category as well, I think that was definitely kind of a moment that stood out for me, because it kind of proved that actually this event is something that I could do really well in. I'd gone from nothing to 310 in just over a year and a half, maybe. So I think at that point, I kind of proved to myself that actually I could do really well. And if I kept trying, then I could improve so much more. I think that definitely was a moment that kind of proved to myself that I was good enough.
So why pole vault then? Let's go into that a bit more because I know you used to do other events before that, and like you say, you've been
Yeah.
doing it for about 3 years now. It's such a technically demanding sport. It's not an easy thing to do. So what were the main things that made you think, yeah, I really want to give this a go?
Um, I'm probably going to sound very mad by saying this, but I think it actually stemmed, I knew from a very young age that pole vault was something I wanted to do at some point. It was just trying to find somewhere to do it. But I think that initial kind of wanting to do it came from watching them silly like pole vault fails on YouTube shorts. Me and my friends when we were little, we used to watch silly try not to laugh videos, and for some reason pole vault always came up. Um and I think it came from that. I kind of saw like the good in it, and actually if it went right, it could be such a fun event. So I think oddly it kind of stemmed from that, and finally getting the opportunity and the chance to do it has just been amazing.
Yeah, because when things go wrong in pole vault, they
It's
really go
not fun,
wrong.
yeah.
No,
No.
there's very little room for error. And like you said,
Yeah.
I think it's one of those sports where if it goes right, it really goes right. And if it
Mm,
doesn't, then yeah,
yeah,
not so good.
definitely.
But so aside from pole vault, because obviously you've done other events over the years, I mean, what would you say, where do your strengths lie with the other events? What are your preferred events other than pole vault?
So I used to do heptathlon before I did pole vault. So I quite enjoyed doing high jump. That was an event that I enjoyed. I quite like hurdles as well, although now going into the new age category, I've struggled with that a little bit. But again, a bit strangely, I've really enjoyed doing discus. I think I was asked to do it one YDL when I first came to my new club, and from there, I've just really enjoyed doing it. I think the strength training that I've done for my pole vault is really complemented with my discus. So when I first started to ramp up on my strength training for vault, I was getting these massive PBs in my discus, which I didn't know I could do. And I think from there, I just love doing discus as well, really.
Wow, okay. I never realised you were that into discus actually. I know
Yeah.
you've been doing bits here and there this past year or so. But yeah, no, that's really interesting
Yeah,
actually.
it's
Yeah, so
definitely, I wouldn't count it as like my main event because pole vault definitely is that. But I think just being able to do a second event as well, it's something different to do every now and again. When I finished my vault session and I'm waiting to go over with a group to do the strength training, sometimes I'll go join in with discus if they're training that, and it's just something fun to do, a bit of an extra to do at competitions and things.
okay. I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you've branched out into quite a few different events
Yes.
sport-wise this year compared to previous years anyway.
Mm,
So is there a reason why you wanted to go into more things this year?
not really. It was for the YDL in the Northern Leagues. It was purely to get points for the team. We needed more people for the different events, and now I'm in under 20s, you can do 5 events. So I just kind of said, as long as it doesn't coincide in pole vault and it won't make me tired for pole vault, I'm happy to kind of do whatever. So quite a lot of the time 400 hurdles was going after pole vault. So I one day was just like, right, I'll do that if it gets us the points. And again, I kind of surprised myself. I got myself round, I won the event. I was like, okay, fair enough. I've done a couple 400s. I'd still do a bit of high jump. I've done 100 hurdles, which I hadn't done before because of the new age category. Um, yeah, I just kind of filled in whatever really. I tried triple jump a couple months ago as well.
Oh, okay. So it's been that team spirit mindset behind it then
Yeah,
for a lot of it.
yeah,
Ah, okay.
definitely.
That
Just
makes
kind of
sense.
anything to help out the team to earn more points.
And speaking of helping out, I need to know more about this because I find it fascinating. Because you volunteer as well as a
Yeah,
athletics official. So
yes.
I I could be wrong, but I don't know of many people your age that would
No.
even consider doing something like that. So what is it about that you find so like exciting or beneficial? Like how did you get into that?
Again, it was to help out the team. So my younger sister, she does athletics as well. And at the time, I'd moved up into under 17s, so I couldn't go to the lower YDL, but my sister still was. So I kind of just found myself stood around, not really doing much. And I thought, again, this is a massive opportunity to help out the team, earn points, learn something new as well. So I went and did my level one, and now I'm just kind of going to all of the YDLs to help officiate. But I think again, it opens up so many more opportunities. You're constantly learning new things. You get to see so many different performances as well. And also, again, meet new people. And I think you never know when you might need the new skills that you've learned or the people who you've met. And I think it just kind of helps you branch out to different opportunities, really.
So has doing officiating opened your eyes to like what actually goes on behind the scenes? Because obviously you'll
Yeah,
see what all the athletes are doing, but not so much what the officials are
yeah,
doing or the
yeah.
organizers. So yeah, has it changed your perspective in any way on how the sports run from you doing all of that?
Yeah, definitely. It shows how much effort's actually put into the competition to get it ready for the athletes. I mean, trying to calibrate all the different like pole vault bars, high jump bars, when you've got the EDM for the throws, trying to calibrate that to the right distance. There's a lot of work that's put into it, the whole setup of the day and making sure that everything's ready to go. We've got all the equipment. I think it just shows that actually it's quite a lot more complicated than you think. Trying to do the scorecards and then sending it off to somebody who inputs all the individual results. It shows that athletics is so much more than just what the athletes do on the day. It's definitely been eye-opening.
Yeah, because I don't think a lot of people see that, do they? They just focus on what the
Um,
athletes are doing, like I say, and not necessarily realizing all the hard graft that goes
yeah,
into
yeah.
like, for the events to even happen in the first place.
Hmm.
I mean, it wouldn't be a thing without the officials and all the organizers taking part to begin with. So they play such a vital part. So the fact you're even doing it at such a young age, I think it's brilliant. I think it's awesome.
Thank
So
you.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's really, really cool. Um, and you're still with Leeds City AC, aren't you?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. So, how have they helped you to push your limits, I guess? I mean, how have they helped you in your development?
I think they've kind of helped to guide me through the different events, what they think I'd do best in. When I first came, I was, before I knew that I could do pole vault first, I was going in as a sprinter. I wanted to be a sprinter. I was in the sprint group, and I think they definitely kind of realized that actually I could do better in other events as well as sprints. So I moved on to train with a different coach who did more kind of heptathlon. So I was doing more high jump, and obviously then I was asked to do discus at the YDL. So I then kind of fell into the heptathlon kind of group, and I was training for that. I was going and doing competitions for hep. I went to English schools at one point. And I think they just kind of helped guide me through that. They told me that there was a pole vault and introduced me to the coach. And since then, I've just kind of carried on in that route of pole vault.
Oh, okay, that's good. And would you say the community there's a big one, a small one? Because I don't know too much about Leeds City,
Yeah,
to be honest.
it's quite a big club to be fair. There's a lot of athletes in like loads of different events. So we have a massive endurance group as well as the individual events. So lots going off to cross countries and things. And then we've got all the different kind of groups for sprints, or if there's people doing kind of the longer events, then they're in their own group. We've got loads of different like throws going on and multi-events kind of groups. There's a couple of different ones for that. There's ones that do a lot of kind of long jump, triple jump, as well as a pole vault group. So I think it is quite big. We don't often mix with each other. So there's a lot of people who I haven't met before, but even though I kind of haven't met them, I wouldn't say they're unapproachable. Like there are definitely people who I've never met before, but then they've had a massive conversation with their competition. And I think again, it's just that sense of community that everybody's so kind of and supportive, and we're all just cheering each other on, even though we haven't met each other. And then we can have like a big conversation on how each other's doing. And I think it's really like I think it's really nice that we've kind of got that support from each other, even though we haven't necessarily met each other before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Would you say that that's because a lot of athletes there are just in the zone pretty much? Is that why a lot of them keep to
Yeah,
themselves, do you think?
possibly. I think definitely in the fact that we all do kind of our separate events. So for me, being a pole vaulter, our bed is indoors, so I don't really get to see many of the endurance athletes who are outdoors all the time. So I think it is quite hard to mix in that kind of way. But I think when it comes to competitions, we all do just come together as a team, and it's like we are all just friends who have known each other for ages because we are all just able to converse with each other, support each other. It's just a nice feel that we have in the club that we all just have that support for each other.
Oh, good. And would you say there's much of an interest for pole vault there, or is it more like you say, sprinting and all that kind of stuff?
I think we do have quite a big group for pole vault. Um, I think there are definitely people there who probably do want to do it, but maybe don't know how to get into it. I'm not really sure. Um, But in terms of our pole vault group, we have had a couple of new athletes start. We've got some really young athletes as well who are doing it and are progressing quite well. So I think the group itself is quite big, but I think we can get more people to do it. It's just whether they they feel comfortable. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because if we're being honest, I think it is quite I don't know if intimidating is the right word, but I think a lot of
It
people look
looks
at pole vault,
scary.
it's
It looks
scary.
scary, yeah. But I think if some people can be pushed into it a little bit just to give it a go, I think they'll surprise themselves and actually realize that it is quite fun. I mean, the feeling you get when it goes well is it's so rewarding. It really is.
So how do you prep yourself then just before you do a vault at say a competition or whatever? What thoughts rush through your head just before you're about to compete?
I'm just very much kind of in the zone. I'm like, you can do this. I mean, you've done it before in training, you can do it again. You're well capable of it. You've put in so much effort. I just kind of have loads of positive thoughts running through my head, like just knowing, being able to tell myself that I can do it, just trying to reassure myself that I can do it. I mean, sometimes I am just stood on the end of the runway before I'm vaulting, just saying, pretty much saying to myself out loud, you can do this, you have done it before, you've done it in training, you've worked hard for this. And then it's just kind of like just before I vault, I'm just like, go smash this, you've got this. It's just I just have loads of thoughts running through my head before, just trying to get myself in the zone, just trying to big myself up a little bit and actually believe that I can do it.
And do you often have a lot of friends or family on the sidelines cheering you on as you're at competitions?
Yeah, definitely. My family have come everywhere to every competition, wherever it is. They've all come, they've always supported me. And then friends as well have always come to watch. At English schools this year, there were people who I'd only met like once or twice, just there cheering me on. And I looked around and they were there like cheering. And I just thought again, it's so nice that we've got these people there to cheer us on, even though some of them you might not know very well. It's just, again, that sense of community and support that you've got from people. It's, yeah, it's really nice.
Definitely, especially if you're traveling to competitions and it's long days
Yeah.
ahead of you as well. Having that little boost behind you,
Mm.
yeah, it makes all the difference. It really does. So, this past year, then, would you say everything's gone according to plan? Have some things maybe not gone so well, or have you surprised yourself in any way?
Um, it's been a bit of a roller coaster. So it started off brilliant. I mean, I got a good indoor PB. I did 3:26, which added 10 centimeters onto my PB. And then in the outdoors, I did 3:35, which again was a massive PB. I was really close as well to getting 3:50. I only just knocked it off. So for me, that start to the year was really positive and really good. But then just before English schools, I actually took a little bit of time off due to it was a bit of a medical kind of injury. It's quite hard to explain. But I ended up having to take some time off for that. And since coming back, my performance has dropped quite a lot. So I think I've definitely lost quite a lot of strength, and my performance, unfortunately, has ended up getting like affected by that. But I think there's so much you can take away from it, just trying to believe in myself that actually before then I was doing well and I can still do it and I will build up strength again, hopefully a lot faster than before. And I think just being able to take away that actually I was really close to 350. I didn't quite get it, but I know it's definitely there. And I think in a couple months, I will get there. So I think even though I had to take off a bit of time and towards the end of the season, it hasn't been as good, I know that I am definitely there and that I will get better. And I just got to try and trust the process a little bit and trust that actually at some point it will come.
So, in a roundabout way, I mean, obviously, taking time out of a sport is always going to be a bit of
It's so
a tricky
tough
thing.
mentally as well, yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say, mentally, especially. I mean, obviously it's not great, but in a roundabout way, do you think having that time off has helped you to reflect a bit more on maybe where you want to be, say, within this time next year or the next 5 years?
Yeah, yeah. I think definitely just being able to look at what I have done previously and what I need to do coming into the next season next year. I think I've definitely taken time to look at that, realize where little bits were going wrong and what I need to focus on in the winter, ready for the next season. I think it has definitely given me time to have a look at that, actually stop and see what I have done well, because I think it's important to see what you have done well as well, but also what can be done to help me get better. I know that my target for this season was 340 and I'm 5 centimeters off it. So I know that I definitely want to get that soon and then hopefully push for 350, 360, depending on what next season brings.
So what? So yeah, obviously you want to smash that personal best. That's a given. And then, do you want to? Are there any other goals that you've set yourself for the next few years, or are you just purely focusing on that at the moment until yeah you reach that goal?
Um, I think at the moment, just improving on my personal best is where I'm kind of at. I'd quite like to reach a bit of a higher level of competition as well, but I think I'm purely focused on just improving myself at the moment before I even think about entering bigger competitions. I think it's important to consolidate what I'm doing and how to get better and just improving my performance just that little bit more.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fair enough. And then you're heading into your last year of A level exams as well. I
Yeah,
mean, it's kind of like a funny time in your life, isn't it? Where you've got all these exams in amongst
yeah.
everything. So you're kind of having to juggle things a little bit. Um, so I'm assuming is the goal to go to uni once you finish sixth form, or are you still figuring that out?
I'm kind of still figuring that out. I was
Okay.
very set on uni to start off with, but now I'm not 100% sure. I wanted to do physio at uni, which I still do want to do a little bit, but over this past year in sixth form, I've been opened up to, again, completely different, but engineering. So I
Okay.
did work experience in engineering and decided actually I quite like that. So I'm thinking I might do an apprenticeship next year in that. I'm not 100% sure yet. I think what I'll do is I'll definitely apply for uni and apprenticeships, and then I can kind of decide on results day what I actually do want to do. But I'm a bit torn at the moment. I'm not really sure.
No, that's fair enough. But yeah, like you say, if you do both, then at least you're hopefully opening more things up for yourself either way, aren't
Yeah,
you? Because
yeah,
I know quite a lot of I think a lot of the students, a lot of the athletes that have like been an ambassador for us or have written blogs for us in the past, a lot of them have gone to places like Loughborough and they've done
yeah.
engineering there, I think, which is and Loughborough is obviously the uni to
Amazing.
go to
Yeah,
pretty much.
yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if that would ever be an option
Yeah,
for
I
you,
have.
maybe.
Yeah, I've looked at Loughborough. I think for me, because I didn't take the right subjects to do engineering, it would mean having to take foundation year, and I'm not really sure whether I want to do that, especially if I decide I want to do a master's in engineering, which again, I'm not sure whether I'd want to do yet, but if I did, I could be in uni for like 5 years, I think it would be, which is a lot of time, a lot of money, and I'm not really sure whether that's something I want to do yet.
Very last question, just out of curiosity. So, when you look at how far you've come over the years, obviously you doing different things, you going into pole vault and specializing in that a bit more, what would you say has filled you with pride the most? Like, what have you been proudest of so far?
Um, I think probably just how far I've come in my pole vault from where I started a couple of years ago, not really being able to do much, and then again, just over a year managing to go to English schools and consistently getting there every single year as well, getting the standard. I think just being able to look back on how well I've actually done and what I can kind of take away from that. I think I think just being able to see like what I have actually done and what I know that I can still do, I think is just I think has just kind of made me very proud of myself. Not even knowing like a couple of years ago that I could actually do pole vault and just having it almost as like a little fantasy to be getting over 335, being really close to 350. I think it's eye-opening and the fact that I know that I've got so much more to come. I had a couple of weeks ago, one of the athletes, um, he's a new ath well, he's kind of a new athlete. He hasn't been very much, but he does a lot of coaching as well. He's quite a good coach. He kind of pushed me out of my comfort zone and made me go off quite a stiff pole from a very short run up. And I was finding myself getting my feet over four. And for me, that was insane because before then, my extensions hadn't been very good. And then suddenly I'm getting right up over these really high bars. And don't get me wrong, obviously the bungee was coming down quite a lot because I'm nowhere near at that level just yet. But I think just seeing that actually I can do it. It's just I think that's what fills me with pride, the fact that I know I've got so much more to come.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always really envious of pole vaulters because I mean, I've never done it myself, so I can't really understand. But I can see like how much work must go into it because there's a lot you have to work on. So
Yeah,
yeah,
just keeping going with it because like any event, it's not always going to be perfect. But I think just being able to tell yourself and mentally being able to tell yourself that you just need to keep going with it, even though it might not be perfect, because it will pay off at some point. I think that's really important to take away, that it might not be brilliant all the time, but at some point your hard work will pay off. You will get the new heights, you will get the performances that you need and want to see. And I think that's really important.
And if there's any younger athletes that maybe come up to you, or maybe even watching this, that are thinking to themselves they really want to get into pole vault, but they're not quite sure where to start or how to follow in your footsteps, what are the main pieces of advice you would give them, do you think?
Just ring around different clubs, whether it's you or your parents, just ring around, ask about it, because I think it's definitely an event that not many people know about, but there are clubs that do it, and I think just ringing around, seeing where you can do it, I'd I'd definitely advise. And then even if you just go for a couple of sessions just to see if you like it, you're not going to be thrown in at the deep end. If you're really worried about it, the most that's going to happen is they're probably going to guide you into a sandpit. So it's not like you're going to be forced to do ridiculous heights and go up massive poles to start off with. I think just going along to a couple of the sessions just to see if you like it, because there's no harm in trying. You're not going to be doing stuff that's too like high risk. It's going to be quite simple stuff to start off with, getting yourself like the feel of the pole and what you have to do. So I think just ringing around, seeing where you can do it, and just give it a go. You don't have to carry on if you don't like it.
That's such good advice and so true. They're never going to chuck you in the deep end,
Yeah,
are they? And yeah, I
no,
mean, and if you're not enjoying it, then like you say, just drop out. I mean, because
yeah.
if you're not enjoying yourself, then what's the point? You
Yeah,
know,
but I
like
think with athletics as well, like even if you don't enjoy it, there are so many other events that you probably will fit in. And I think there is so much scope to move around in the sport, that even if it's vault that you're not a fan of, you might prefer doing high jump, or you might find actually you fit better in a throwing event. So I think just going along and seeing, for me in pole vault as well, I started in a sandpit for weeks. I was just jumping into a pit, but I think just give it a go.
it's baby steps, like you say, and
Yeah,
once you've done
definitely.
those, then you're flying, pretty
Yeah.
much. So yeah, no, I love this, Mallory. Thank you so much for talking to me, and
All right.
best of luck for next year and the next few years
Yeah.
after that.
Thank you for having me as well.